Hey everybody, Ed here with the Digital Digest, and today I wanted to give you guys some initial impressions of the Sony Tablet S. Now this is Sony's first tablet offering. It's a 16 gigabyte honeycomb tablet running version 3.1 out of the box, but as soon as I got it charged up, it was already waiting with an update for 3.2. Haven't installed it yet. Of course, I'll give you guys impressions after I've had some time to use the device. But again, initial impressions, you're looking at 16 gigabytes here, internal storage for $499.99, $599.99 for the 32 gig model. So they're priced, neck and neck with all other high-end tablet manufacturers, which, isn't really a great thing, obviously, considering the current climate for these devices and, the abundance of different manufacturers out there. Sony is definitely late to the game, and as a result, they've tried to make up for that delay with this offering and how unique it is in terms of trying to set itself apart. But I'm not going to really get into that today. Again, just focusing on initial impressions. So what do you get for $500 out of the box? You're looking at a 9.4-inch LED backlit display carrying the True Black branding from Sony's line of televisions, so quite a standard to live up to. 1280 by 800 resolution. I do really like the display. Only one that I've seen that's really better than it right now on a tablet is, of course, the Galaxy Tab PLS display. Different size screen though, so that does change things a little bit. I think that favors this tablet a little bit more as a e-reader, but save that for further impressions when I've actually had a chance to confirm that. Moving away from the screen, you've got a front-facing VGA camera. Of course, that's below industry standard, but that'll be a negligible problem for some of you. The tablet does have a unique design, which I'll get to when I show you guys hands-on in a second. Of course, Tegra 2 processor in there, like all honeycomb tablets. You've also got a gig of RAM, 16 gigs of internal storage, as I mentioned earlier. Of course, I just said before, front-facing VGA, but there is a 5 megapixel rear cam, no flash on that. Also, you've got Bluetooth 2.1 support, DLNA, which is a nice touch. Sony's even thrown in some custom applications. That's kind of what I was talking about in terms of differentiating. One of them, which is unique, allows you to control your entire home theater entertainment system using a remote control app on here, which I'll get to in a later video. Beyond that, you also have a full-size SD card slot for storage expansion, which is really not something I necessarily expected from Sony, so I do appreciate them throwing that in there, because clearly a lot of these manufacturers like Samsung and Apple don't give the customer the option to expand storage beyond what's fixed on the tablet out of the box, so that's a good thing. And of course a micro USB slot, or rather port. So that's pretty much what you get. 21-ounce package, so not the lightest tablet, but pretty close. And of course a lot of that has to do with the 9.4-inch display, but there is quite a bit of bezel. But more interesting than the bezel is the actual overall design, which I'll show you guys in a second. Just want to show you the screen for a moment here. Sony's homepage for the tablet here that they've created. And it's really a nice display. It kind of pops, very similar to the Galaxy Tab PLS. Again, even though this isn't an IPS or PLS display. Jumping back to the home screen, I really just want to show you guys, you can see they've customized quite a bit here. Just changing the look. Of course, these are their custom apps, and I'll get to that in a further examination of this. But again, going on to design. So here's the bottom of the tablet. You're looking at a proprietary charging port right there. Not in love with anything that's proprietary, and also it seems a little flaky right now at first, but that's really nothing to complain about. One of the two speakers right there. This is the port bay for your micro USB and full-size SD card slot. Of course, your 3.5mm headphone port there. And then on the right side, your other speaker. The stereo sound on this so far seems okay. It's not best in class, but certainly passable, at least on my initial impressions. Of course, your volume rocker reset there and your power button. Really do like the layout of these buttons so far. Some rubber feet here at the bottom. As you can see, a textured fingerprint magnet. But just so you guys get a wide of this, there of course is the 5 megapixel camera. You can see that they've kind of created this doubled over book design, which is pretty unique. And nothing else like it on the market. Supposed to lend to easier single-handed holding. We'll see if that's true, but again, I do really like what I see here. It is all plastic, by the way. That's how they achieve that lightweight. Some of you will not appreciate that. But so far, Sony Tablet S is definitely impressive. We'll see how it stacks up with the competition as I get to spend more time with this brand new Honeycomb 3.2 experience. Anyway, if you guys have any questions or comments, please feel free to post them. And of course, as usual, please feel free to subscribe. Later.